Let's all just roll real quick a 1d6 to see if we would have died if we got knocked down.
I did level up. I decided what the hell.
Fuck, I would have. Shit.
You would have died.
I would have died.
Aha!
I live with one eye.
I already went down and lived, so
There.
there you go. But I can do another one. Fuck it. Why not?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, why not? Oh, fine.
Oof. You got the
Oh,
Dante treatment.
That was better this time.
Yeah, I would have gotten close.
All right, so
Dante's missing half a foot, right? Jesus.
yeah, and like a finger or
Yeah.
two.
Yeah.
Couple
Two fingers.
Imagine he's got some burn scars as well. That wasn't
Oh,
that
yeah.
wasn't said out loud, but like he did get like exploded in fire as well.
I thought that too.
Yeah, he's gonna have like 3rd-degree burns.
Zuzu's definitely covered in burns, I think,
Oh yeah.
but not to the same degree. He got blown away fast enough that the fire didn't get him too long.
Yeah, Zuzu got a 1 for that out of action roll, right?
Yeah, so he just got knocked unconscious more than anything. The blast knocked him out.
Pretty good roll.
Yeah, so we left off around midday. Right as you wrapped up your battle with Zom's walking corpse, and you eat it, but barely. I mean, it really hurt a few of you and knocked you unconscious, but also a massive crowd was gathered for the blood affirmation ceremony that you were like witnessing when it happened. So a massive crowd saw you destroy the body, and like everybody cheered. I don't know if they were all
I had
screaming
a question.
your name. Yeah.
Did the priestesses cheer, or are they still mad at us?
No, they actually at the end of the session came down and like swept you away to lead,
Yes, okay, that's right.
to lead you into the tower and give you a hero treatment.
Just making sure.
So that's where we find you in one of the upper levels of the tower, which you weren't able to access on your previous tour because you were just kind of guided through the big main hall at the bottom where the crystal hangs. Now you are up in like the 2nd or 3rd story up. The inner circle is just an open balcony around the huge floating kind of levitating Nazarite crystal. You walk around that, and all of your rooms are just these like beautiful kind of squat arched wooden doors, like really old castle style, with big beams and big iron handles. And like they just kind of circle the tower, and each of you have like your own room. Some of you, are waking up unconscious in this bed with like assistant priestesses and clerics around you, and basins of water and bandages and things. And some of you are still conscious, so you kind of have the run of the place. And they tell you that after the festival is over, or her duties are over, like the High Priestess will try and find you to speak with you. But for now, you can do what you want inside the upper areas of the tower.
I think Red is gonna be sticking around Dante's room, just kind of waiting to make sure he gets up.
Yeah, Dante's room definitely has the most like, action going on right now. Multiple healers and clerics and priests and herbalists are filing in and out for like an hour or two, working on Dante, trying to like stabilize him.
Yeah, I don't want to step on your thing, but I do think that Cora would kind of be trying to go between just like Zuzu and Dante and just like everyone, and just kind of like, check in on everyone, make sure that they're okay. Because especially if there's other clerics, and maybe also like watching the way that the other clerics do, because she's maybe finding that some of her techniques are a bit different, not the same as some of the way that these more professional fancy clerics do things. So I think she's also interested in that aspect of it too, kind of watching what they're doing.
She's like writing in a notebook, like, so you don't bash them. You
don't spit on it.
Rub dirt into it.
Yeah, just like watching them and like seeing because I think she has some like more non-traditional methods of doing things, being from the country. So of watching them and seeing the way that they perform rituals and how it, how it differs from what she does.
Yeah, I would say at this point it's not even like so much as like they're giving like life-saving surgery in his room or that kind of stuff either. It's more just like they're making him comfortable at this point, you know, and reapplying salves and keeping it elevated and clean and, you know, just helping him like be infirm.
Yeah, maybe just like asking questions about like what's in stuff then, like the ingredients. Like, so she'd be like, if I could make that,
Yeah,
I got herbs.
I mean, I'm sure they would like just fold you in and treat you as one of their own and, you know, have you help and like grab those things, put him in that pestle, blah, blah, blah.
Maybe deliver a baby while I'm there.
Oh no, it seems his foot is having a baby.
No, one of the priestesses.
I think Cedric would check on Dante and Zuzu, who had been, I would assume, both receiving some treatment.
Yeah, I feel like they kind of treated Zuzu a little bit and then just like left him, you know, to all kind of work on Dante, except for maybe like one or two who like are checking on his room now and then. But he's mostly like, I think in his room just good, but a little scarred or burned.
I think Cedric would also look for like a guard or an orderly or someone who looked like they weren't immediately busy.
Yeah, I'm sure you can find someone. There's like people, younger and apprentice type people, just kind of hanging out in the hallway, like on the balcony outside the door. Like kind of just looking over shoulders to see what they're doing in there, kind of thing.
Yeah, I think Cedric would just ask about like, introduce himself, ask if there are magic users, not necessarily clerics, but arcane magic users in the Rimspire.
I think whoever you ask is probably, like I said, some young apprentice. They might tell you, let's see. Yeah, they might tell you, like, this isn't just a tower to the mother. It's not just a temple for her, it's a temple for all the old gods, and we do house another order than just the priestesses of the mother. There's also the Chamber of Irving, a select group of clerics and scholars that, keep the traditions of the brother and continue his archive, his library, which he left here in the tower. It's one of their many duties to, tend the library and find things to teach all of us to continue educating the entire temple as a whole, as well as electing our patron, as you've seen in the ceremony, and giving one of their own to serve as such.
Thank you. That's exactly what I wanted to hear. How long are we waiting on? How much time do we have while this is going on?
Zuzu's pretty quickly up and awake, but I think Dante's probably down for, Did we roll like a d4 on it, Dante? I don't remember.
Yeah, he rolled 2 hours.
Was it? Okay, yeah. So,
What, did I? When?
I don't remember if he did.
Yeah, no, right there at the end, right above the notes. Both Zuzu and Dante rolled 2.
Oh no, that was us rolling d6s to see at the beginning to see who'd have died and who wouldn't.
No, like above that, like farther up.
At the end of the last session.
Yeah.
It looks like Cedric rolled a d4.
That was me rolling my level, if anybody's interested in how it went.
Dante did roll a 2, and Zuzu rolled a 2, yeah, right at the end of the session.
Yeah, that was I don't know what that 2 was for though.
How many toes you lost?
For how many hours you're out, right?
Well, either way, for story purposes, he's pretty fucked
Yeah.
up. I want to play it. I want to play it up. Roll a 1d4. Let's see how much free time they have.
1 hour.
Okay, we'll say like an additional hour from now, after Zuzu is kind of up as well. Like, I'd say you're probably even awake at this point, Dante, but they're just like dressing you because you are, missing a limb and like trying to get crutches and things like that prepared for you.
Yeah, I think with just an hour, Cedric would probably just go wait around, but would be interested in the library, the archives.
Yeah. Okay. Now the interesting
I'm
thing.
interested in your level.
Sorry, what?
I was just telling Andy I was interested in his level.
Yeah.
I think an interesting thing about this floor that you guys are on, you're in this upper balcony. You came out one of these low, squat archway portals from the staircase onto the, this circular balcony that is this floor. And there's the doors going around, which are like your rooms, but there's no other doors. There's not like a staircase up to the next level, but you can see there's another balcony up above you, higher up in the tower. I don't think you're entirely certain how to, like, get up to the next level, but whatever this library that they're keeping, it's definitely not on this level.
But you said the priestess is gonna try to find us, right?
Cora
would like to find her.
I think they said, like, yeah, after the fest. I actually imagine it might be the next day because they have like the whole festival and ceremonies but if you want to have like an audience with her, they said she'll have free time. Yeah, like the next day, but you're free to stay here. Until said time.
Well, I think once Dante's released, Cedric's going to try to find his way to the library whenever that point comes.
Okay, yeah, you can wait for a little while, and pretty soon Cedric is up and moving. And I think he's like moving on crutches right now, but after, like a day passes, you can probably learn to kind of hobble on your foot without the crutches.
Oh, back on my feet. Are we considering this whole downtime thing like a rest?
Yeah, sure, we can. If no one else has anything else they want to do, it can just be that you're resting.
Well, I mean, depending on how long it's going to take. But
I mean, a rest takes like 4 hours at least. You gotta sleep and eat as well.
I mean, I'll take that time to fix my armor.
so that's kind of where we're at. Is Dante's almost dead and has no armor now.
Yeah, I mean, you guys have this whole place. Like, they're giving you all the hospitality you could ever want. I think there's like tables of food. They like have orderlies like bring food to your room, for each meal. You have these big comfy beds with all these pillows. You have like a beautiful window and a high up place that looks out, and a little balcony from your window on the outside as well. You can just relax and heal, work on your stuff, and be
if we're gonna rest,
be waited on.
Cora would want to go somewhere and like basically, if we're on a new level, then I'm gonna assume there's like a more badass place to pray. She wants to find like the sickest place to pray she can. Because if we're gonna rest, like that means I get to prepare new spells, right?
If you want, yeah.
And do like my whole prayer.
Yeah.
So I would like. Well, I don't have any left, So I think that would be her goal. If she's got time and she knows that and everybody's taken care of, then she's going to be like, okay, I want to find some like beautiful, serene, amazing, because I haven't got to see this part of the place yet. So clearly look around, but then also try to find somewhere that's like super holy or something.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, for the most part, I think one of the interesting things about this floor is that like it is nothing other than just your rooms and like a staircase down where you came up. So you assume there must be some hidden way or magical way or something. You can look around for that and try and figure that out in the 4-hour time period while everyone else is resting, if you want. But I think it would take time. It might like detract from your rest. But I will also say just your balcony alone is probably like pretty incredible.
Yeah, I was going to ask I think the balcony, I think she will probably go out on the balcony. I think that it would just be so beautiful, and she hasn't like this serene. I mean, this amount of peace, I don't think that she's probably felt since they started. Probably since before they started, before she even got to Darkian. And just really take her time out there and say her prayers and do her rituals and sing to birds.
Nice.
Yeah, I think Cedric would rest, but he's been working on something. He's been just a nut he couldn't crack, and he figures it out by finding the scroll that he's had in his inventory all along.
I think if I have time, I would also like to see if there's like a holy library or anything like that, but there's not, right? It's just rooms and downstairs.
There is like a library upstairs. That's what Cedric learned.
Right, but we can't get to it.
Or you don't know
Okay,
how yet.
got it.
Like I said, instead of resting, you can spend time searching and like try and figure out how to get up there, or like observing other priests, etc.
I don't think I'm gonna-
Dante hobbles over to Zuzu's room on his crutches, and he kind of, hops his way in. You just hear little clickety clacks on the floor. And he looks at Zuzu. Whew, you look like shit. How you holding up?
Oh, a little bit more in one piece than you, but not much better. I was pretty roughed up there.
Yeah, that got out of hand.
Quickly, that body was insane.
Yeah. Hey, what do you think protected us back there, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, we could say the gods are luck, or your quick thinking with that fire bomb. But, I think it's a combination of many things. I think this is a holy place, and we're being looked down upon by the mother and father and brother, of course. But I think the sun, it wants, he wants us to both get our whatever we need. I mean, for me, vengeance. I prayed for vengeance. I have no qualms stating that, but it's not a blind or wild vengeance. I have a few that I must get back at. And he definitely played a part, but I I'm not the one to usually go all religious, although we are in a holy place. I think your quick thinking with that bomb is really what saved us, quite frankly.
I
And
don't
your
know.
sacrifice. I mean, look at you.
I just, I don't know. Something I thought, what would Zuzu do? I've seen you rush into so many dangerous situations without blinking an eye that just followed suit, and it seemed like the right thing to do. But could you is there like a sign to the sun, or like a certain prayer you say? I don't fully understand what the sun is about. I mean, you talk about vengeance, but what else does he represent?
Many look upon the sun, I mean, as a demon, which he may have been, although I don't feel the story has ever been fully told of the sun because of the fear surrounding him. I mean, he was the son of the mother and father, and what we are told is that he ruled poorly. But we never know who he ruled over. I mean, maybe he ruled over people like those we were fighting and killing. Bad people. Sometimes you gotta do harsh things to bad people before they'll really learn ever. You can't just let evil go in the world and, maybe the sun punished those who he found to be evil. And we're never told the full story of the sun. And we just know that I know he rules over punishment and pain and torment. And he punishes those who are evil and who are sent to him. At least that's what I come to understand, because the mother and father do not cast every person into his control, just those they don't want to deal with. So I know this thing was evil that we fought, and so therefore I know the sun must have something to do with punishing him, even now.
No, that makes a lot of sense. Well, I like that. And Zom definitely was cocky. I don't really know if he had humanity or not, but honestly, I don't care anymore.
Exactly. I mean, sometimes men can forsake too much, and the time for talk is over at some point.
I agree. But I'll let you rest up. I was just curious if you felt a presence during that fight or not. I think
You
I
know,
did.
I mean, I did. I've had visions of vengeance, and so I know that the sun was there. I see a burning forest sometimes, and a burning orchard, and I know that it represents my desire for vengeance, and those that have trampled upon my future and dreams. So I know he was there with us, and I know the mother and father are there with us because they always are, as well as the brother, but the son for sure, because I know that he's punishing Zom right now.
Hopefully. That body was creepy.
Yeah, yeah. Evil, eternal things, whatever they are. But get some rest. I do know that you have sacrificed the most out of all of us to deal with this great threat, and I personally plan to finish the job. I mean, I know there are more of those monsters on that ship, and I know exactly what they're eating right now, so I can't
Deal with them
quite
in
get it
time.
out of my head.
If it's the son's bidding or the mother's bidding, we'll definitely deal with them in time.
That's what I think too. But for now, we need our rest. I'm hanging on by a thread as it is.
Same here. All right, I'm heading back. He hobbles out of the room
All
to
right.
go rest.
All right. Anybody else doing anything other than resting and praying, etc.? Memorizing spells?
I think tonight is when I sleep tonight is the night that I have the dream from Appendix A, the chat.
Okay. Sure, yeah.
I
So
think whenever. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, so you just like basically hang out in the tower till night, and eat and rest, and then sleep through the night. But go ahead, Cora.
I was just gonna say, like, when I wake up the next morning, I think that I would want to go do my prayers, and then I would like to go and knock on Dante's door after it's been enough time that I think he might be awake, or I see someone leave, so I know that someone's at least disturbed him besides me.
Yeah. Okay.
And then I'll just like knock on the door. Does he answer? Knock
Why
knock,
is
and she'll like
everything
peek her
so
head in.
hot?
So she wants to go in and just be like, Dante, I'm so sorry for what happened to you. And she's kind of like just looking over him, seeing him the next day. Like, I mean, those days after you get like hurt or burned really bad, like days like 2 and 3, like are like the worst. And so she would like to go up to him, and I would like to cast, and this is more just like for a story than to actually do anything, but I would like to cast like as a ritual resist fire on him. just as like a way to be like to try and help take some of the pain away from his burns, even if it doesn't actually do anything in game.
Okay.
So that's what I want to do.
All right. So to do the ritual, roll your wisdom plus the spell level.
Okay. And when you see her, she is like these. It's like she has these lines that she has. Oh, I fail. But they're
You
like
can do it.
tattooed on her forehead now. Like her lines that she usually draws on, like are there, seemingly like they have not washed away. It's like as if they are permanent.
Okay. Well, when spells backfire, they either reverse or misfire in some other way.
Cora
Yeah.
lights on fire.
But this
I guess I immolate you.
this is a pretty obvious one. It backfires on you, Cora.
Cool.
What level is the spell?
2. So she's gonna take some of your. If I could take your pain away, I would. Maybe I can.
Damn, rolling hot.
Yeah. So she goes to touch you and like try and like soothe you and be like, I just want to do something. I just want to do something for you. I see how much pain you're in. And she goes to like touch you and just something goes wrong. I don't know if she's nervous being in this holy place or what. And just like, she just like screams. Like as soon as her hands gets on you, she just like screams and like starts like patting herself, like just throwing her hands on her chest. And she's just like holding out her hands and they're just like raw and like peeling.
So,
Yeah.
Cora, while you do this, you have that like flash again, but this time it's not you. It's Dante. This time, is that who you're touching, right, Dante?
Yeah.
And yeah, you see that because you saw Dante before, but you didn't see like what was burning behind him. He was standing in front of something burning. And now you see it, Dante. What are you standing in front of in this vision? You're the only one who I'm not sure what to put there. I thought maybe the salty minnow.
I think you see just the mass of Arc City, like at the top of a hill, and behind him in the valley is just the whole city burning.
Interesting.
Oh my god. And she hasn't really talked about this at all, I don't think, right? I haven't told anybody about these visions.
Nope.
So I think that she is just like, obviously doesn't want to freak him out anymore. And she's like, oh my word, I'm so sorry. I don't know what happened. And she's just like holding her hands out. I feel like as like flesh is like falling off of them. 9 points of damage is so much. And she's just like, it's me. It's you didn't do anything wrong. Like it just wants to make sure he knows like this is not you. I messed it up. I haven't done that one before. I messed it up. And she will run off to try and treat herself. That sucked.
You see Dante's eyes open up, but he just looks around the room and he's like, "What the hell just happened?"
Yeah, what a horrible way to wake up. I'm so sorry, dude.
Yeah.
By the way, are you wearing the gold robe? You put it on during the battle, didn't you?
Yes, so I think that she's wearing it. I also think that she has affixed her sheriff's badge to it as well.
Okay. I think when the spell misfires, the robe like flares with light and color for a minute and like heat.
I'm so sorry, Dante. How scary.
All right, so you run away to your room for now, right, Cora?
Well, yeah, just to like, I guess, go and cure myself. I mean, I guess I'm going to heal myself. I took 9 points of damage.
Yeah.
Okay, but if I do it as a ritual, I don't lose it. I just get hurt.
If it misfires, it has a chance of failing. Yeah. Rituals are the only time when you have to roll to see if you're successful at the spell or not. Otherwise,
Neat. Okay, cool.
otherwise spells just work automatically.
Dang. Okay, so do I need to roll to cure myself now? Heal myself?
If you want to try and heal, yeah.
Yeah, I do. Oh my gosh. I can't believe that just happened. Okay.
Almost perfect.
Dice roll 3. Get a little bit
Yeah.
back for now. Keep the spell.
Yay. All right, thank you. So sorry.
So it's morning time now. What's everybody else doing immediately? Again, no one's like coming to get you or telling you to do anything per se. Other than they're just giving you food and all treating you, really well. Most of them call you, Cora, like mother or mother priest or mother cleric.
I think already at least. I think already didn't spend the night in whatever room they gave him. I think he spent the entire night in a chair outside of Dante's room. So I think that he did hear what happened with Cora. Like he didn't intervene, but he worried obviously. But he spent like these alcoves are essentially the rooms, right? That we're seeing on the map.
Yeah, see, I'm putting lines in. That's the boards on the
Yeah.
doors.
That's the boards on the door. So I spent a long time just kind of staring at that Nazarite shard.
So you notice, I think you're the first one that notices, as your eyes adjust to like kind of the dark, dreary, torchlit upper hall area here, there's not a lot of sunlight in here. You notice there are other large shards that have like kind of split off and are suspended around it, as you can see in the drawing. Like once it kind of like rotates all the way around and you walk all the way around it, like you see, I think a lot of these shards, it's kind of hard to tell from the perspective, are higher up, like up by the next floors.
Oh no, I can see that. Like definitely, you made that clear. That's very good drawing.
Thank you. It's hard in Roll20.
Yeah,
It
no,
is
I mean
really
you nailed
good.
it. I totally understood that those are like floating around the second floor.
Nice.
So like when I was staring at this, I was looking at those shards like we can just take one of those hanging off of the giant one. Like it's not even connected.
Yeah, they're not. And yeah. So there's the floor you see here, like we're kind of seeing through a wall, that would like be right here. So there's other doors.
Are you saying we're seeing through a fourth wall?
Yeah, get it?
Uh-huh.
So there'd be doors like this that we're like seeing through. But there's a similar floor above. You can't see what's up there, but it's similar to this one, but it, goes up around the crystal higher.
How many floors are in this tower? Is there 3 or is there more?
From the outside, I think there's like 3 upper rows of windows and then the top.
Cool. Okay.
But looking up through it, you can see the floors obviously have a ton of space between them. Like each floor is like 20 feet high, or something, 30 feet high.
Oh, well, if the Bone Legion is kind of together again, I think Aretti's going to lead with. So, how are we feeling, gang?
Maybe 2 pounds lighter.
Yeah, welcome to the club.
I didn't sleep well last night, but I'm glad everyone's okay.
Yeah, whatever just happened there could have very easily gone a different direction.
Fairly
No, we're
certain I
touch and
woke
go
up.
for a minute. Sorry, go ahead.
Cora, did you run out of my room screaming earlier? Or did I dream that?
Oh dear. I did. I really just screwed up on that one. I was trying to do something nice, but I guess impact matters more than intent. And she like pulls out her hands and shows you guys like her burnt ass hands. I did my best to patch him up, but I tried something I hadn't done before, and I guess I just wasn't ready yet.
Oh, Jesus.
But hey, I'm one of y'all. Burn brigade or whatever. She's kind of keeping her hands down, like she's just like, not embarrassed, but just kind of like, not trying to make it about her. I'd like to talk to the priestess if we can find her. There were some words spoken to us before the battle that just don't sit right with me.
Well, I think that's a wonderful idea to speak with the priestess, and I think there's another matter that we should all discuss. And I'm sure most of you have noticed. There's a giant Nazarite crystal in the place we came looking for answers.
Yeah?
It has been hard to ignore. And even more so, it looks like they've certainly got spares floating around that thing.
I think if these people are reasonable, they will recognize the threat that Zom brought to their town. I think we may just be able to ask for the Nazarite.
Yeah, or at least some Nazarite powder. I mean, gotta be some pilgrims that they've confiscated something from, you know?
Yeah, it's certainly possible. I don't think we got the resources to manufacture our own, that's for sure. So if we're able to get raw powder from some, like what you said, that's best case scenario. Otherwise, we may just have to take those crystals and crush them up and put them in there and hope that they do something.
You know, I'm thinking, I've always been thinking that the Nazarite might be the more important part of the whole thing, rather than the stimulant drug, might be the magic powder.
Now, I was just thinking about that awful creature and what it took to get rid of it, and it seemed like we discovered a weakness. It seemed like fire was what is there a way that we could just explode? I mean, obviously I'm not doing so great with fire right now, but do you think we could just find a way to just use fire in there, create some sort of explosion on the inside, or did we talk about that? And
No, that's a good idea.
I think we did discuss a variety of explosions.
But now that we know that fire, or what was inside that globe, I mean, did we figure what was inside that thing? Because that thing, I really took it out.
That had a kick.
I don't know, some kind of accelerant, that's for sure. That combusts when exposed to oxygen, perhaps.
I did do a little studying last night too, and I don't know if I can blow up a barge, but I can certainly give them what for if we come across a pack of those monsters.
Well, I could use a little help in the armor department and maybe a new weapon. I want to talk to this priestess and see what they can't offer us. I don't know. I think we've done these people a service, so.
We all want to talk to the priestess, so. Has anyone seen her about this morning?
Where are you all having this conversation? Like out, looking at the crystal on the balcony?
Yeah.
Probably just right there in front of the rooms, like staring at this thing the whole time.
So from the archway where the staircase is, it's like quite a bit larger archway and door than the rest of the rooms. A young, kind of soft-featured priestess comes out in all just like clean white clothes, like nurse nun kind of feeling, all white outfit. And she smiles. She looks kind of like she's a medic of some sort. And she's like, she's ready to speak with you if you wish to follow me. Mother Illustra.
I'll speak of the mother.
Yeah, lead the way.
Cora?
Absolutely.
So she heads back into the stairwell. And she like waves a little amulet that she is wearing towards like a wall where there's a nice like beautiful archway built in, like a door would be there, but it's just bricked up. Kind of a like weird dead end at the top of the staircase that you're at now, and it just like reveals immediately, like it opens almost as if it's like an illusion, a staircase behind it upward the next floor.
Well, I'll be darned. Did you see that? She'll like elbow Cedric, like, that's some fine magic.
Yes, when you are casting that particular incantation, are you utilizing the magical item, or you have to also do a semantic component? I wasn't watching.
She just turns and smiles. She's like, I didn't do anything. She's like, the shard did it.
Huh. Can I? The shard, may I see it?
She like holds her little necklace up. It's got one of these little Nazarite shards on it. She's like, It's a sliver of the Mother's crescent moon. It powers this whole tower, our entire sanctuary.
Cedric would just kind of hold the little necklace in his palm as he looks at it, and then he just kind of look at the others.
I see.
She's like, I'm sure you've seen the blue lights around the festival city.
Absolutely.
All powered by the tower. It's a conduit for the moon sliver.
The moon sliver.
That giant Nazarite shard?
She just nods as she like keeps
Oh.
leading you up. Pretty soon you're up on the next level. This one's shaped a little different. It's got a lot more open areas, but it does have one, like, you know, two doors, one on kind of near you as you come up, and one on the opposite side as you come out of the staircase entry well. And you're like all struck with a surprising sound as you get up there, like echoing out of kind of the open door of the nearest room. And it's the sound of a newborn baby crying, and you see a few like nurses kind of bustling about in there.
Oh, Cora tries to get a peek for sure. Like craning her neck, you know, and just like clutches at her chest, like, oh, the sound of a baby crying.
And it's that newborn baby sound too, where it's just like fighting to breathe. You know what I mean? For like literally the first time, like you like are hearing a baby being born. It echoes all through the upper parts of the tower. And a few nurses like push past you, and the girl that's guiding you kind of smiles, and she's like, "The mother oversees every single birth in the tower." And you come around the corner into like the birthing room. They have a little like hospice set up, and this like, you know, magnificently tall silver-haired woman who is also pregnant is like standing behind everyone, watching them like tend to this newborn mother. They're handing her this baby as you come in, and she just turns and sees you all and smiles.
Yeah, and I'm gonna kind of bow. Bow, sorry. Do my little thing.
Yeah, she'll just be like, "Welcome, Bone Legion." He's like, "It's a miracle, isn't it?" And she'll like smile and look at the baby.
Cedric would be like,
Oh, little one. Oh, look at her. Beautiful.
he does a soft spot for the babies.
She's like, "Birth is the most magical thing, more magical than any spell, especially if born under the right phase of the moon." And she's like, "Little Alindra here, she is moonborn." She's like, "Just like you, I understand." She like walks over to you, Cedric, and kind of looks at your staff if you're holding it.
Yes. That is so. Well, for a time.
She's like, "It's a gift. Our best and most talented priestesses are moonborn. They both control divine powers from the mother, as well as the arcane powers of Nazarite. Powers of the moon."
Yes, I suppose it has come in handy.
She's like, "Well, follow me to the library, please." She's like, "We'll give them some space," like looking over at the, you know, the mother holding her newborn.
Goodbye, little one.
She sparks up a blunt.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Zuzu's
careful
just got a
again.
big dumb smile plastered on his face. He's just happy.
So she leads.
Cora is just
Go ahead.
clasping the locket around her neck as she kind of like wipes a little tear away and then squeezes the hand of whoever was leading them in there, just kind of like grabs her hand and gives it like 2 quick squeezes, just like, you know, this is love.
Yeah, she just like, of course, smiles and, you know, holds your hand back. And soon they lead you, you know, out of the room and into the other door on the other side of this this upper floor. And as you go in, it's this great big hall. It's like a big horseshoe-shaped room. It must cover, you know, 50% of this upper story here. And it's just lined with bookshelves, you know, up to the 30-foot ceiling. And big, tall, high slatted castle windows that just let like big angular beams of sunlight, kind of shooting across all the desks and old staircases and like, carved banisters that kind of go around this big library room. She leads you to like one of the mini tables. Like the tables are all like littered with study materials, and there's even probably a few priestesses at like one of the back tables, and maybe a couple, brothers of Irving as well. So she leads you to sit down at a table, and she like kind of beckons you to sit across from her, Cora.
Cora will wait for her to sit before she sits.
Yeah, and she'll like kind of wave to the chair, like wave to you towards the chair across from her and smile.
I'll take that seat.
As she sits,
This is the most beautiful place I've ever seen.
she sits down and she's like, "Thank you. Irving himself started this library." She like looks around, kind of admiring it for a moment. And then she does something that I don't know if it surprises you or not, but she holds her hands out, Cora, like across the table, and smiles really big, but for to hold your hands. She wants you to put your hands up as well.
So Cora looks down at her hands in her lap and kind of like smiles at her. You know when you feel like, God damn it, my hands are burned to hell, is what she's thinking. And, this is the mother humbling me, I think is what she thinks. And she holds her hands out and she lays her palms on top of the palms of the priestess.
She looks at your hands and she's like, "Don't feel ashamed." She's like, "The mother did cause this pain to you. You didn't cause it to yourself. Sometimes she hurts us to teach us. You know that, though, don't you?"
I do know it, and it hurts to admit that I know it. I think more than it hurt when this happened. I won't say I did it to myself, but I know that my actions caused it, whether or not I meant for it to or not.
She's like, "I knew you were wise." She's like, "I could see it in your face." And she like takes one hand off your hand and puts it on your shoulder, like on the cloak. And like still has her other hand on your hands. And she says, "You deserve to wear this garment. I'm not sure where it came from, but when you pulled it out, I knew I was wrong for what I said. I knew you were meant to come here and teach us a lesson. You are no normal cleric, the mother. I would like, if you're okay with it, promote you to a high priestess of the Tower of Veros."
There is nothing that would honor me more. I just have to say, I came here to beg your forgiveness for the way that everything happened earlier. It was just a mess, and we did not mean to make that impression on y'all. And I'm so grateful for your empathy and kindness and forgiveness for that, because we are good, and I want to do good. I am here to make good things happen, and I truly believe that. And I didn't make some very good things happen by making a bad first impression, and I am truly so sorry. And you granted me an honor of high priestesses. I just wanted to say I'm sorry. That's more than I ever could have hoped.
She just kind of smiles and she's like, "There's no need to be sorry." She's like, "My first impression was short, and my second impression was you fighting for your friends. Turning away the undead. Doing all of the things that embody the mother. Being a warrior, a caregiver."
It's who we are. Some of us are just. That's all we can be. I tried for a long time to be something else, and I found myself when I gave in to what she wanted me to be, and I've never felt more whole than I do right now here with you, and with these people. She like gestures to the Bone Legion, of course.
She's like, "Do you have your reliquary? Your file? Can I see it?"
Do I?
The blood.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Vial.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, the vial. I thought you said file.
Well, that's like a say that's the British
Oh, okay.
version of it.
Yeah.
Oh.
British.
Well, I don't. Cora Dean is not British. Yeah, and she's like, "Oh, of course," and she like fumbles a little bit, and she, presents it to her.
Yeah, she takes it slowly and she kind of holds it up to, the window light that's shooting this big angular beam across the table. And
The
she's
tiny mason jar.
yeah. She's like, marvelous. It's remarkable. I mean, this is authentic, original. Maybe one of 15, not even mine. She kind of clutches at something, around her neck beneath her garments. Kind of absent-mindedly as she looks at it. And she kind of snaps out of it and looks at you and she hands it back and smiles. She's like, where did you get that? Who trained you?
Well, it was my aunt. She was a priestess back where I'm from, and well, I always wanted to be like her. She was the most amazing woman, the most amazing person that I think that it has ever been, as far as I could tell. She was so good. She was so good, and well, she chose me, and I'm honored.
She's like, beautiful. She's like, you deserve this. She's like, it's true. She like looks at all of your friends and she's like, they know it's true as well.
Zuzu like nods and smiles big.
Cedric is beaming, hearing that she's getting promoted and all this stuff's happening.
She's like, I have something. Follow me. Like an idea kind of dawns on her. She's like, come. And she like leads you through further deeper into the library. And she takes you up, a couple flights of stairs, like a kind of upper tier of this mini tiered room, up on a big, beautiful stone balcony covered in bookcases. And when you get up to this like pedestal like balcony area, you can see it's just filled, like covered in kind of black stone like stands, I guess, pedestals or displays, and each one is like holding different artifacts, and they have like little plaques next to them. It's like a little, artifact display. And in one corner is like an armor stand and a weapon stand with a few random, rather interesting looking things on it. And she goes over and she picks up this like gorgeous looking silver kite shield, like with a sharp point at the bottom. And just like beautiful pounded, hammered metal, like inlay and kind of moon motif with a big crescent moon in the center. And she like turns and looks at Cora. And she's like, this belongs with that cloak. And should only be wielded by a high priestess, a warrior priestess. We don't have a priestess like that, but we should. The way of the mother. He's like, I think you should have it.
Are you sure? It's beautiful. I've never seen anything like it. She's like admiring it, like the craft work and also like the hardness. Like you see her like knock on it, a little bit, and like, she's just like blown away.
Yeah, so she hands it off to you, and she's like, I hereby proclaim you a high priestess of the mother.
She, without even thinking, throws her arms around this. It's probably like you're not supposed to touch the queen kind of thing, and like just throws her arms around this lady and just gives her the biggest hug, and it's just like, mother, forgive me for ever doubting myself, and just like hugs her so hard, and then like immediately realizes what she's doing and then steps away. Like,
She like, I think hugs you back for a second, and she's like, just remember that forgiveness is the domain of the mother, but also so is punishment.
I'll keep that in mind. And she like just so proudly like holds this shield up and then like turns around to the group, like holding it and like super standing up tall and like just beaming with pride, showing them all like, this is me now. Like, this is what I fucking look like.
3 cheers for Cora! Hip hip!
Hooray!
Hey.
Hip hip!
All right.
Hooray!
Hip hip!
All right.
Hooray!
Oh, they did all three. She
Uh,
just like loves you guys so much. She's like, thank you also. They believed in me. They always, they are so special. Y'all have made me this. This is because of y'all, just as much as anything else. The mother brought y'all to me, and you helped me find my path.
She's like smiles real big and she's like, I must take my leave, but you and your friends may have the run of the library and the tower. If there's anything else I can do to aid the expedition of the Bone Legion, please tell me. We will try to help.
Well, I'm glad you said that.
She just kind of looks at you expectantly.
Oh, where to begin?
She's like, you want the shard, don't you? No, she doesn't say that.
Oh, fuck you! Just the top.
You lose. Good day, sir.
Well,
And Cedric kind of looks at the others.
I guess to begin with, the creature that invaded the Rimspire, he was not the only one of his kind. There are others. We don't know their numbers, but they possess the same powers he does. They're the killers. And we're trying to stop them.
Where did they come from?
Well, he didn't really know much about himself. He was intergalactic. He was the technology that they utilized wasn't their own. They were conquerors, parasites.
They did come from across the sea. We know that much.
You did mention the
Oh.
barge, right? I missed it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm gonna say the barge. I'm gonna step up and say the travelers on that golden barge.
It kind of seems to all start clicking in her head. She's like, that creature came from inside the barge?
Yes, and they've probably been preying on your pilgrims for a long time.
They've been inside there this entire time.
Yes, that's right.
She
Been
kind of
watching.
she looks like
Can
a
you
lot of
believe
a
it?
lot of things are like clicking in her mind, and she's like, this makes so much sense. How could I have not known this? How could we have not discovered them?
Because of their power, they killed anybody who discovered them.
Like, I suppose with travelers, it's hard to follow up on everyone that goes missing.
Exactly. You might have thought it was just some bandits that were constantly harassing your camps, but
Well, as far as we knew, there was no way in or out. I mean, as far as anybody knew, there
Exactly.
was no way in or out. So why would you? It makes sense.
exactly. But we do know that the barge is powered by, well, some very dangerous things, and they seem to react with Nazarite, and we wanted to get it powered up and get it out of here, or destroy it, or do something to get rid of the threat.
She's like, I see. We only have a very limited amount. Spare shards to give out. With our new influx of priestesses, I think 3 left.
Well, I was also thinking to save your Nazarite or your holy priestess. We can also use Nazarite powder. I know it's a little profane to speak of to you, but if you happen to confiscate Nazarite powder from any of your pilgrims, then we can use that in its stead.
She's like, we aren't the merchant police. Not silk wardens. We don't confiscate anything.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
Well, there you go.
She's
Well, you wanted
she's like, we're a peaceful organization.
Well, in light of that, you wouldn't happen to know anyone that would like to make a donation?
Exactly. Instead of, taking some of your holy Nazarite, I'd be much more comfortable if we could just get some of the powder. I mean,
Yeah, she just kind of looks at you flatly, and she's like, I don't know where to find narcotics, if that's what you're asking me. I,
It was what we were
it
asking.
was, and I'm sorry. I'm extremely sorry. But I just want to save your crystals. I don't know.
she's like,
I'll kind of back up sheepishly.
I'll give you one, and she kind of produces like a rough leather cord wrapped around a big, pinky-sized shard of blue crystal from her pocket. Just one.
Perfect. Perfect.
This is more than we could have. Your
Yeah.
generosity and grace is we are blown away. Thank you so much. And I'm
we'll
sorry
repay
they're
you
asking
back.
you for drugs. I mean, they're hilarious, really. You just got to get to know them.
She's like, I'm sure. And she kind of reaches out like she's handing it towards Zuzu, and Zuzu, when you go to reach for it, she like hands it right past you to Cora, like right into Cora's hands.
Yeah, I'll take it and tuck it around. And if it's like in a leather little thing, I'll tuck it away in one of my mini. Oh, in my purse with my chicken wings.
And the
You
rain.
know why I was asking, and I'll just kind of walk away.
If you could just point me in any direction that has any more, I would love more knowledge on this cloak and shield. I could read all day about this stuff. I've never had an opportunity to learn like this where I'm from. We just don't have this kind of writings. I'd love to know more.
She's like, as I said, the library's at your disposal. The Scriveners can help you navigate. They'll find anything you ask for. They're at your service. And you notice like a little tiny like wooden kind of like desk, like like a coat check type desk, and it's just like the roof of it is like literally just shingled in books. Books are just piled up all around it, like to be returned or put back. And there's like a mousy little girl in like a sweater and a big cloak, like scribbling in a huge ledger in glasses behind the desk.
I love her.
There is one other matter that perhaps you can offer some insight on. I noticed that your eyes lingered upon my staff. It's a powerful item, but it's also caused some interesting side effects, I would say.
She says, yes, I know. My crows, they're very upset by it.
Yes, every crow is very upset by it. They're really irrational about the whole thing.
She's like, I knew you were here before you arrived.
Yes, and that's just precisely the problem we've been having. They're outraged. My preference would be to solve the problem with the crows either by diplomacy or by some incantation, but I would like to retain the power of the staff. Are there any arcane magic users who know anything about reversing or breaking a curse?
She just like kind of nods to the amulet. She's like, I don't know anyone that could reforge that. And you look at it, it's made of some sort of metal, the amulet that's like broken into like, maybe 10 or 20 pieces, but still kind of in this rough shape of a big round amulet. And it's like fused into, the wood and vines of the stick. And she's like, that's where it comes from. It's a cursed object. Any good you can get from the staff comes from the curse. Oh, is it really good? You do cleanse the evil inside of that thing, that medallion, or repair it. Who's to say that there'll be any magic left at all? But it might work. Like I said, if you could repair it.
I appreciate your insight. I will consider it.
She's like, maybe in Belsur or Solaria, there's some mad alchemist or runesmith who knows some secrets. We don't specialize in the art of making magical weapons. We only have those we've inherited. She's like, Brother Irving, a very talented blacksmith. He forged weapons for everyone in his family. And she like kind of nods to your shield, Cora.
Holds it close.
She's like, including the mother's shield. She's like, now if there's anything else I can do, I really must. Another baby will be born within the hour.
Oh, may I would it be all right if I sat in on this one?
She's like, if you have the time.
If we're still here, I mean, of course, I we may have things, but if I'm here, it would just be my honor.
She's like, you're a high priestess of this tower. You can do what you wish.
Sick.
Yeah, I'm gonna kind of bow to her and leave.
Yeah, she heads out. I guess Cora's gonna peace out with her.
Oh, it's not right here in this room?
Oh no, you guys are in the library.
I thought it was just like right out the room where
No.
that baby was being born.
Yeah, she's going.
It's on like the other
Around
side
the
of the
balcony.
tower.
She's going somewhere.
Oh, okay, well-
somewhere else. But I think as soon as she leaves, not that Scrivener girl, but like a different, like, priestess or page of some sort comes up, and she's like, now that you're a high priestess, you have new quarters on the top floor. She, like, points up to like the next balcony up, the highest balcony.
Oh, well, I'd love to see it. You guys want to check out the High Priestess quarters?
I will meet you up there. And
But
Cedric-
yeah, I was gonna say before, I would like to get just if you got any books or know where they are about this. She like gestures to the cloak and shield. She was like, I could really use some reading material up in these high quarters.
She's like, well, the Scrivener desk. She's like, I can wait. She's like, use your shard. Use your moon sliver. It'll open the staircase to the top floor when you're ready.
Perfect.
So could I like roll a knowledge check to see if I find anything
Yeah,
mechanically useful?
well, like I said, you can use the Scrivener. You talk to her. Her whole job is to know what's here and to help you find it.
Yeah, let's go up to that Scrivener.
She's like got this giant ledger book in front of her that they keep records in. But when you get close, you notice she's got like a smaller paperback like sitting inside of the open ledger book, also open, and she's reading that. But when you get close, she's like, "Oh," and she like kind of snorts and pushes her glasses up and like slides the paperback under the big desk. And she's like, "Was there something you were looking for, priestess?"
I think my friend here was looking for something. I was just wondering if you have anything on this in history or anything on this this beautiful cloak I'm wearing and this incredible shield. I'd love to learn more about it.
She's like, we have at least 3 scrolls that I know of that have accounts of the mother receiving the items, one on the crafting of the items, and I think also one on the lineage of the items to her daughter.
Oh, well, I'd absolutely like to borrow all 3. I won't keep them for long. I'd hate to get any late fees.
She like
She winks at her.
starts like flipping through the big ledger, and she's like, also we have at least 15 historical accounts of the shield being used in battles, lost, retrieved, broken, repaired. She's like,
Well, I'm gonna have to get to those after. I feel like these first 3, I'm gonna have a hard time getting through those. Even I thought it was silver instead of sliver for a long time, so it's gonna take me a minute on these first 3. So if you could just grab those for me, and my dear friend, my wizard friend here has something he'd like to know as well, I believe.
she's like, oh, so you don't want the history books?
Not yet.
So
Let me just see how Yeah.
You don't want me to tell you how many lyrical poems we have that mention the shield.
Can you just write this down for me?
She like perks up again. She's like, yeah, of course I can write it down. She like starts like shuffling through things, looking for like a quill and some ink.
Oh, look at your handwriting. That's beautiful.
And she's like, and for you? She like looks over to Cedric.
I had a question about a particular tome. It's a transmogrification, transform, polymorph, if you will. It's something I'm interested in learning about. Any text you could point me towards?
He's like, there are some laboratory scrolls from Daragon, they're blue, and she like flips through the book. He's like, as well as some ledger books for ingredients purchased for a particular potion by the Grand Alchemist Bazaar of Belsur.
Well, that's as good a place to start as any. If you could point me in the direction.
She like kind of leads you up some stairs and back through a little gate and like into like some really dark kind of gloomy back shelves and starts shuffling through like a scroll case, and pretty soon pulls out 2 scrolls and hands them to you. He's like, this is the only thing we have, I think.
Cedric would kind of pour over the scrolls.
Yeah, you kind of look through them. At least one of them looks like it has like spell, kind of runes and words. You'll have to translate them or, to kind of convert them into your book. The other one looks like it is like a potion formula, possibly.
So would I do read magic to look at the runes?
No, just to write them into your book. You read magic to see, I guess, what spell it is.
Okay, well, I'd have to cast it as a ritual, but I could roll it.
Sure.
Careful.
Yeah, not a lot of success. Fucking not. There has been almost no success with these ritual spells.
It's bad news. I'm glad I already wasn't around to see this.
I'm just gonna say you can't cast any spells. I don't know until what is it? The morning right now, right? Or like probably midday at this point. I'm gonna say you can't cast any spells until sundown.
All right. Well, he'd be stumped on him, and he would see if he could check him out for the duration of their stay.
Yeah, the scrivener like tells you like just take them with you. Just you have to bring them back. That's all. He, like checks them out under Cora's name.
Now you make sure you take good care of those. Those are under my name. This is the first thing I've done as a High Priestess.
Actually, I was a gold member at the library at Grimdern. You can't, not just anyone is a gold member.
Well, I should have known. All right, then.
The scrivener will tell you like we do have a number of other spell books if you wish to take a look.
Why,
Well,
yes, put them on Cora's account.
Yeah, I'd like to, as much, I didn't want to be rude, but I'd look at any cleric spell books you got. I'd be happy to take a look at her. I didn't want to be cheap.
She kind of like flips through the book. She's like, well, we have at least 438 mentions of the word incantation throughout different works in the library.
It's like a bestseller.
She's like, oh, okay. And then she like goes over to a shelf and starts pulling off some giant heavy books. I'll say that like, any magic user in the party that spends, a few hours or like the rest of the day in here can get one spell of your current level or lower, your choice.
Woo! Yay, that's so fun. Can we take it back up to my quarters, though? I want to see my quarters.
Yeah.
Before we run off out of the library, Dante would ask her for every book that she can point out about the father, the mother, and the son, because he's going to like deep dive into studying religion, and trying to find ways to receive their blessings and kind of how they're praised, what they believe in, things like that.
She kind of like looks at you over her glasses when you ask her that, like, are you fucking serious? And she turns and just points to like the longest wall of the room, which is just like, 500 feet of bookcases. Like it literally disappears into like the dark gloom of the other bookcases as it, goes down. She's like, that entire wall.
Do you have the fireside notes by chance? Like just a beginner's guide, maybe?
I think she would point out like the Bible or whatever, the mother's Bible like book is, which I think is actually like a memoir that the mother wrote, or some journal entries like collected kind of thing, and letters.
Well, that is what Dante would take then to start studying.
It's what to expect when you're expecting.
Yeah. The Moonborn memoir. By the way, that whole thing about Moonborn, I don't know if you guys know this, but in this world, the lore is that the only way you can be like a wizard or like cast magic is to be born during like a certain moon. Usually a full moon.
Oh.
That's cool.
Or Erdfolk, right?
Or the other way is, yeah, there was a bunch of like a full group of people that were imprisoned kind of as golems, or like their spirits were sacrificed to make these like kind of clay golem army from the south, and that curse was broken and a bunch of those creatures were all turned back into humans, actually all back into children, right? I think is what it was.
I think so,
They
yeah.
went back into like
All
the
babies.
street, become children.
But that was something that happened like 1,000 years ago at this point. But all of their descendants are also magically capable, and they're called Erdfolk. Our last campaign had a lot to do with like monolith or like henge stones and stuff like that turned out to be ancient, like kind of leftover weapons of mass destruction from a foreign army that were actually imprisoned people, children. Fun.
I presume they weren't all children before getting transformed.
No.
That's just kind of what they became afterward.
No, actually, it was just people. Yeah, you have to kill people. Like they were all killed to make Erd at some.
Can't make an omelet without killing a few people.
Right. Anyway, yeah. So she'll leave you to the library. You can spend the rest of your day in there. Like I said, everybody can choose a spell from your respective spell list.
Oh, hey, don't mind if I do.
Is it bash head? I think it's bash head.
I got bash head spell, allows me to bash my head.
And if you like have to roll to copy it into your book, which I think everybody does, right? Everybody's got like a spell book. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so you have to roll your spellcasting stat plus the spell level to copy it into your book. But the Scrivener will give you a scroll copy of anything as well to take with you. Or like copy pages out of books for you. So she'll start working up your scrolls if you want, and you can go check out the quarters.
Foragers.
Cora.
Hell yeah.
So you go into the stairwell with Cora's little Nazarite shard. It opens another kind of illusory wall to a staircase. It spirals up to the next floor. This is the highest level. And up here, it's a big balcony. You can just see the very tip of the Nazarite shard. There's like another exterior staircase on this balcony up to like the roof. And then there's a couple rooms, 3 or 4 rooms, or doors to rooms around the round balcony. And one of them is open. And if you go look at it, it's like a big, elaborate, lavish bedroom, like big, open, kind of regal, just drapery everywhere. Like a big fireplace with a fire already burning in it. And it's got like, archways. It's like maybe like 4 archways kind of side by side that open up out onto the balcony. They have a huge view. Archways with columns.
She goes in, opens up all the drapes, lets all that sun, like opens all the doors, like lets all that air in, and just is like,
Oh yeah.
Just living the dream.
I imagine just
And then
like
finds a comfy place to open those books.
it's the desert, so I imagine just like open archways to the outside, and you're this high up, you get like that breeze
Oh,
all
yeah,
the
cool.
time. Like,
That like Jasmine balcony.
yeah, for sure. And there's like Chase Lounge and
Perfect.
all kinds of stuff. It's just like this huge, comfy suite with an incredible balcony at the top of this tower. And it's all yours.
I hate to make her leave ever.
I know.
This is the end of Cora's story. How can it get better? It's only gonna get worse. She stays here.
You can do that. You could roll up a young priest. Just play another cleric.
Just be the little librarian.
Okay, so
Take
I
her.
want to read. I'm obviously what I'm doing right now is looking at a level 3 spell, but I want to read about this cloak and shield if I can find any information. I mean, that's what she's immediately going to start doing.
Yeah, so you'll find some information about how basically a war was started. The saints that represent these gods, they all have real names. That's where like Irving and Veros and that comes from. Were these like basically Ardish colonists who colonized this whole area and came from over the sea somewhere. And that is the father Saint Argos, and his wife is Veros, the saint of the mother. Their son, defected and started a war and killed the brother, Saint Irving. And it was this big like continent-wide war that covered all of Ilmore, and that's kind of like early formation of Ilmore and a lot of the cultures and kingdoms and stuff that would be formed later. And they were, ranged all over this place. But when this war first started, especially when Irving was like kind of killed by surprise and like a double cross by the son, Vex, the father, basically like surprised the mother with Irving's last project, like right before he died, because this war was breaking out. Irving had been working on a shield cloak for her. And I think like the shield was unfinished, like, or something like that, or maybe the cloak was. Like some of the, priestesses or clerics of the tower had to help finish it. Died too soon.
Oh, she's reading it and just like reading it with her hands over her mouth as her mouth is agape. Just like cannot, like it's so enthralled, so good. And just like shaking her head when she gets to the parts where she's just like, oh, the betrayal, just like eating it up, loving it.
You taste that? It's a taste of betrayal.
That's a really good story too. A really neat thing about it. She also, I think, if Cedric is around, is Cedric around?
I think, yeah, most of you guys are probably occupying the library or reading the scrolls from the library in your quarters, is what I would guess most people are doing.
Cool. But she just wants to be like, Cedric, when this happened to my hands, something happened with the cloak, and I don't know what it was, but is there any way you could see if it's magic, or can you? I saw you reading magic. Can you do that with the cloak? Or did she find anything out in the book about it, the magic?
Oh yeah, maybe. Go ahead, Cedric.
What time is it?
Oh no.
Probably sundown.
Ah, well, that's perfect timing. I'll take a look. Give me 10 minutes.
And try again on that read magic.
Going well so far. Oh my god.
Oh no.
No magic till tomorrow.
Gang,
Dear
gang, we gotta do better on these rituals.
No,
I
it's
think-
cool that he doesn't know. It's cool that he can't tell, though. I like that.
I'm sorry, Cora. I've had a mental block all day.
Oh, that's all right. I I figured it was something holy. You know, mother's she's got a funny way of teaching me things, and I always learn more learning it from her than trying to take the easy way out. So I appreciate you though, and I'm sorry, but you know, maybe just a good meal. Well, make get rid of that block, or you know, take a walk, get out on the balcony, you know, get some sun.
It's actually not the easy way out at all. It's quite a complicated ritual. You see, most bears in that school use
Oh
excellent.
no, I didn't mean to offend you. I meant I was trying to take these away by just getting you to do it for me, and that's really no way to learn at all, is it?
I suppose not.
I just rolled to learn to copy a spell into my spell book.
Nice. Yeah, you got it.
Do I have to take the same spell? Because I would like to get a different scroll of something if I can,
Yeah,
or whatever.
you can pick any scroll of your level or lower.
But that's okay. So I picked a thing I wanted to copy into my spell book. Do I get to pick a different thing, or is that I don't want to cheat?
You only get one.
Okay, good, got it. Okay, I'm thrilled.
But also, I was gonna say you can make an intelligence roll to see about what you found in that book about knowing your shield and cloak's magical abilities.
Ooh, okay, fun. I'm not the most intelligent.
Oof.
I thought it was sliver. I thought it was silver instead of sliver for a long time.
You know what? Maybe if you use your background, you thought it was silver instead of sliver. Because you grew up in a jailhouse, so you read everything twice. You can roll at advantage if you want to use your background.
I will. I did. I read it. You should have seen. Must have made a fool of myself so many times. It's dyslexia. All right. I also am not great at right and left. I just don't know. That's okay. You know what? I was trying to take the easy way out again. I have to learn by doing.
All right. So, well, you have kind of a nice new hub that you can base yourself out of.
Yeah, I have my RFID shard.
Unless you spend it on the ship. But I'm sure they'll give you another one. If, you know.
Just walking around, shard.
All right. So, the night goes by. You can all retire to your own rooms or pass out on one of the mini, Davenports in Cora's room. That's
Yeah, y'all, we could have it like a sleepover. Y'all, we could tell stories, play truth or dare.
Zuzu's gonna look back from the staircase and just wave his hand and leave.
Actually,
Bye-bye.
I wanted to talk to the two of you, but I guess he's going to bed. So I'll just read tonight. Never mind.
If you want to call me back, I'll wait. Like I'm walking across the room, and you can stop me and say you want to say something.
Well, I wanted to talk to you and Cora both. I want a better understanding of the differences between the mother and the son, and just what each one represents, and just so many questions.
Oh,
Zuzu's gonna kind of look over at Cora.
The sun. Well, I mean, I got all these. I mean, we got books if you wanna learn about
Well,
what.
I've been skimming this one, but I guess personally I want to know to each of you what each one represents, and I don't know. I felt different yesterday. For the first time, I didn't feel so lost. And yeah, sure, I'm missing a couple fingers and half a foot, but I don't know. Something inside of me feels different. But it's still a little confused.
Well, I'm not sure I'm going to be able to help you. Find a path. But if you felt something, I think you need to hold on to that feeling as tight as you can. And when it comes to the mother, she was, the queen. She was an incredible and loving and kind person. She forgave above all else, but she was fierce. And she didn't just let people confuse kindness for weakness, and that was something that the mother taught a lot of us, that's not. You can be kind and be strong, and when you're a mother, you just you get betrayed, and your heart is broken by the ones who you give your whole heart to. You're walking around with all your children. You put your heart inside of them, and sometimes they don't always take care of that, and you just find a way to love even when you're not getting love back. And I think that's what the mother is to me.
Okay. It's fair. I'll consider that while I read. Thank you.
Yeah, no. I'll speak up and say, I mean, the son is not a nice person, but I know that he punishes those who are evil, so even if he's forced to do it, that's what he does. And I'll just kind of walk down the stairs.
Short and simple. I like it.
Cora will just kind of look as he's walking away a little quizzically, and then just say to Dante, I do believe that it's a mother's job to punish. Punishment, love. Sometimes love means you got to do the hard thing when it's the right thing, and sometimes the hard thing is punishment. And I think you've seen me have to do a little bit of that in our journey too. But we're all walking our own path, and we're all finding our purpose on our own. So just what you feel that's all that matters. Who you are is all that matters, and what makes you feel like you're being your best self. And if I can help you do that, I will. But if I can't, just let me know. I'm not trying to make you anything that you don't want to be, Dante. Squeezes his shoulder and leaves him to think.
Thank you. Thank you. I'll keep it in mind. And he hobbles off with his book under one arm and a crutch under the other, very badly, walking down the stairs.
Love it. All right. So you spend the rest of the night.
So no, truth or dare, ready? Truth or dare?
What?
Cedric's first. Oh, Aretti's first. Go ahead, Aretti.
Wait, what? Sorry, I was just reading this cool book. What?
I feel like if anyone in the party was going to be like, okay, fine, I'll play truth or dare, it would be already.
I mean, I'm down for it, but I was sorry. I got locked up in this. What are we doing?
No, you read. I was just teasing. All right.
I mean,
never have I ever.
Am I involved in this?
Oh, I was just teasing.
I mean,
Never
I can.
have I ever fought a scorpion in the desert.
Oh, drink.
No, drink.
Cedric makes a phantasmal illusion of himself to play games while he studies.
Oh, I like this, Cedric.
He's very quiet.
Don't touch him or he'll go away.
Truth.
Don't touch him or you'll break the illusion that Cedric can be fun.
Yeah. Oh.
Hello, you. I'm a cool guy.
I can dab with the cool kids.
Tried to buy drugs.
Cedric does a Fortnite dance.
Have you kids heard about flossing? It's not just for teeth anymore.
He mirror images and 5 of him floss.
Oh my god.
Okay, that is pretty cool.
And
That
then
is
Cedric on
actually pretty cool.
TikTok should be a thing.
And he dabs on all of you and fucking flies out the window with his new spell.
He's too far gone. I have to kill him.
I'll be right back, y'all.
Yeah, let's take a break.
Awesome. I gotta pee.
Dope. I'm gonna make some tea.
I'm back.
Cool.
I'm not sure who's all here yet, but
I think it's just you and me.
hell yeah.
I think I'm interpreting this on all like decently. Like
Yeah, I think so.
I'm
too.
not. I don't. Am I making shit up? Like I'm doing all right, right? I
I
really hope I'm not making shit up.
I think you've taken the small premise he has under gods and you're portraying it well.
Okay, cool. I'm just like not acknowledging like the betrayal part of him or like
Yeah.
the betrayer. I'm just like, you know, I don't know. A little hypocritical, but that's the point.
No, I dig it.
It's kind of like a Satanist, you know? Like
Yeah. The whole like
they're not bad people. They just have like a weird theory that if you're a Christian would suck to hear,
yeah.
you know? Like
Yeah, it's the idea that there's more evil in the Bible than there is the Satanic Bible, and how they preach that whole like Satanism isn't the worship of Satan. It's just understanding that Christianity has its flaws and stuff. And you're like, are you sure about that?
yeah, I've always man, I read Dante's Inferno and immediately kind of like wanted to come up with my own thing. And I feel like over the years, I've just rolled around a concept in my head that's kind of like a video game idea where
Mhm.
you would like start out in the War of Heaven and kind of be dragged to hell as a good angel or whatever, with Lucifer and all the other angels that fell or whatever. And the whole point would be you like fighting your way out of hell through purgatory and up through heaven or whatever, and you would end up like fighting quote unquote the Trinity or whatever, you know, like some Japanese anime shit, whatever.
I dig it.
God
That'd
of
be fucking
War,
cool.
whatever. You know what I mean? Like that weird
Yeah.
boss battle at the end. But the end, it would kind of be like a draw. Like you wouldn't really be fighting God. I don't really want to portray that in a video game because that's just
Yeah. Kind of stuff that
stupid to
pisses
me,
people off.
especially if you're kind of speaking around a story that some people do believe in, you know? Like I don't want to kind of be that ridiculous, but
Mhm.
it would be kind of like a conversation battle or whatever. But he would be like, "Yo, look behind you" at the end, you know? And you'd look at the path that you took like from heaven or from hell to heaven,
Yeah.
and it'd be called like the game would be called The Path of Redemption or whatever, you know? And that would be kind of like, "Oh,
I'd play
you
that.
follow this path, you can like actually make it out of hell and like through purgatory and to heaven, you know? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Just
Dude, I'd play
I
that
kind of
shit.
like twisting. I like twisting the stories. I love twisting, you know, Greek stories. That's why I love
Mhm.
God of War so much, and I love twisting like Norse stories and like I don't know, just cool to me.
Oh yeah. So I've always read up on different mythologies and different like legends and stuff and thought like, well, what if this were the case instead? And like a lot of Viking old like lore stories are very like twisted in their own sense already. So the idea is
Mm-hmm.
it's like the morale behind them is there, but you're like, ooh, that's a weird way to
It's
interpret that.
exactly. It's such a different vision of morality. It's so interesting. I mean, the Vikings were terrifying.
Oh hell yeah.
That whole blood eagle thing is terrifying. Like one of the worst things anybody's ever done to anybody else.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the second worst thing that someone's ever done to somebody else is not cracking open a cold beer with the boys.
I was gonna say the Mongolians like eating on people.
That's
I
pretty
don't
yeah,
know.
that's pretty brutal warfare.
The Mongolians used to just like put people underneath boards, and then they would put their like banquet tables on top of their boards, and then they would just have a banquet.
Yep. Whatever crushed you, crushed you.
Yep.
The Zulus were pretty intense people too.
Zulus were really intense. Aztecs were really intense.
Mhm. Zoroastrianism's pretty interesting. If you've ever read on that.
Yeah, kind of the. I mean, shit. Angels came from Zoroastrianism.
Mm.
It's cool to look at like the pre-Christianity religions and see what like imagery they took and what stories they took and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Amazing.
Whenever I
Because
like,
that's what they did the best. I feel like they took all these like pagan stories and they were like, nah,
yeah,
we're just gonna like
making
use
this up for you.
this story and like change it into something like that we ordain as okay so that we can easily shift all these people from doing this thing to this thing and it's gonna
Mhm.
reinforce our shit, you know? Like,
Yeah, the Roman Catholics were amazing at adapting people's beliefs and saying like you can still worship that person, but they're no longer a spider creature that lurks through the trees at night. Now they're a saint so and so.
exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly. You know?
I did that. I
Um
had to do that for work. Where our diversity and inclusion newsletter, I wrote this whole series of where holidays stemmed from, and when we got to Christmas, I wrote up like different Christmas beliefs and where they like the celebration originated from. And
yep.
they cut that shit so fast and replaced it with the Christian like birth of Jesus story. And I was like, wow. I was like, I thought we were diversity and inclusion guys. Like I'm telling other cultures and past cultures' beliefs, and that gets cut for. Nope, we can only celebrate Christianity in this workplace. It's like
Well,
that's
it's
pretty
like
fucked up.
reality,
Yeah,
you know? I
exactly.
mean,
It's a slap in
the
the face and gross
reality
to
of the
deal with.
situation is that like Christmas and Easter are basically like solstice
Mm,
celebrations that they
exactly.
just took, and that a lot of previous religions, a lot of the saviors are born on the darkest day of the year,
Mm-hmm.
heralding like a new dawn and a brighter future and longer days, you know, like
Oh
so
yeah.
uh,
Pretty much all the
they just
Christian holidays, pagan.
Yep.
yeah, yeah, pretty much. They just did a really good job at recycling everything.
Mhm.
I'm
But I
back, by
mean,
the way.
it's also like very, I mean, in tune with the reality of living back in those days, you
Yeah.
know?
Their life was short. A lot of unexplained things.
You need hope in the coldest, darkest day of the year, you know?
Yep.
My
You
fa-
celebrate like the longest and best.
my favorite pagan like folklore story slash god is got a few different names. It's a Slavic goddess, Mara, Marana. We had a god in our last world based on her.
I'll have to look her up.
She's like a twin goddess. She's the winter goddess of like death, sometimes called Marzana or Morana. And the whole like festival around her is like children in the village make effigies of her, and you march her down the road at the end of winter, and you fucking drown her in the lake. And then she's like reborn in that spring, you know, is like her being born into Mara, like the other version of it. She's all
Mm,
about like the death of winter and rebirth in spring. That's like her thing. So she's like a two-faced or two double goddess. She has like two names.
that's dope.
Yeah, it's really interesting. Here's a great fucking picture.
I wanted to make sure that I'm just like not making shit up about the sun.
No,
Like, am I doing
yeah, you're fine. You can make it up and interpret it. There has been very little said about it in the campaign.
okay? Cool. I just want to make sure that I'm not totally butchering like your vision for this god or whatever. But
No, not at all, man.
You click on it, it pulls it up.
Yeah, here I'll post it.
I feel like that every time something about the mother happens, that I'm like, I don't know what's been said before, so
Yeah, that's why I
we'll
like
see.
that's why I like these campaigns. For the most part, I want you guys to like add to it and interpret how you especially religions. Like if a character wants to play a religion, I like to often try and leave it a little loose for you to like interpret how you do it, you know, what your actual rituals are or whatever.
Well, especially because you can roll and suddenly your ritual, like now my like divine item is like a voice trapped in a box or something, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So like how are you supposed to make that gel with the other character, you know?
All right, well, the next day rolls by. You all get your spells. What do you do next? The festival ends. You know, tourists linger, but for the most part, it clears out back to the tourist kind of season, which is just kind of a slow trickle of people in and out to see the shard and visit the festival town.
And we got our sliver of Nazarite already, right?
Cora has one. Cora, one thing with your Nazarite shard, I was gonna say, if you look at that or like examine it when you're alone in your room at all, you'll see like holding it in your hands, kind of above your face. You can like see, you know, with a light above it, you can see carved. It's got runes carved in the sides of it. And I think like at one point you would accidentally maybe like drop it or it'd slip between your fingers, and instead of like falling and hitting you in the face, it just like hangs in the air and like slowly bobs up and down and starts just like, you know, orbiting your head at 0.001 miles an hour.
Oh, and she realizes that she's definitely like moving her hands around it and like, you know, playing in a very like, you know, seeing like, whoa, like this is cool, like you would if this happened.
Yeah, so you do that and you notice like as you like wave your hands around it, like the veins in your hand are like bulging. And it kind of concerns you at first. You like pull your sleeve up and like you just kind of like rip your sleeve off effortlessly, and you see that your arms are like fucking just like bulging. And I think you realize that the stone is like imbuing you. Not only is it like a Nazarite shard, it's also an iron stone, which gives you +1 strength.
Oh, sick. I'm so strong.
God,
Also,
she's
I
even
feel like
buffer?
her blood, like she has those 3 lines that she used to draw on that are just have become permanent as this physical transformation she's undergone in this Rimspire is like, you know, taking hold. And it's like she has, it's almost like, you know what I imagine is so funny when I think of it now is like the Monster energy drink, you know, those 3 that that logo.
Mhm.
But like it's just like in her head is these 3 lines, and I think it just probably starts like bleeding down her face as like she's playing with this stone.
Ooh,
Like reaches up and like
Mm.
pats the blood as it starts like,
wow.
you know.
Bottoms up and the devil laughs.
So don't forget, Dante did just have to lose strength because of what? Or you can drive the boat, the land boat, your choice.
She's gone. You wake up the
Yeah.
next morning, she's run off.
Zuzu is actually gonna. Is everybody still in Cora's?
No, I think Dante's found early in the morning back in the library, just scribbling notes out of every book that he can pull. So he's got like notes on the Father, the Son, the Mother, other religions, and he's just like poring over them and like piecing more together and kind of creating his own little like quick guide to religion, but it's almost maddening how messy it is and just scribbled all over the place it is.
And yeah, so I'm gonna make my way up to Cora's room and kind of knock on the door or whatever.
She puts the shard away. Quickly like tucks it away. I imagine she's when she got up this morning, she's like finished her rituals, maybe eaten some cantaloupe. And then like goes and like sees who it is and it's like, oh, Zuzu, come on in. Is there something I can help you with? Are we ready to go? Is everybody, are they waiting on me? I lost track of time up here. I mean, you really, once you get in here and sit down, you feel like you could just,
Cora, calm down, calm down.
oh, don't you know me by now? This is calm, baby.
I know, but it's none of those things. It's I was wondering if you, I know I know I'm a bit of a savage, but I was wondering if you couldn't help me reapply my war paint. See.
Oh, come sit down. Come on. And she like leads you over to this vanity that has like this whole everything out. Like she's clearly been doing this like mirrored, and even the table is mirrored, I imagine. And she's like, "Okay, sit down right here. Now, how do you like to I've seen what you've done, but let's see how we can make it work for you. Really
Yeah,
bring
so
out your eyes.
well, it actually I've only got a little bit coming up on my chin, and it actually goes down like over my shoulder. And like since my armor is all fucked up now, you can kind of see it, but it's a lot of it is on my back. That's why I can't reach it.
Oh, well, I guess I just never even, you'd think as many times I've seen you walking away, I would have noticed, but I never have. Let me see. And she's like, she's like, what? Now, how are you? You have some talent. I'll tell you, you able to do this? We you looking to? Don't worry about it. And so she like grabs a brush and like is doing it probably much more delicately than you would.
Yeah. And
It's nice. I've never seen these markings before. Is this something from you? Is this something from your family?
well, you kind of see a bunch of scars, and you see most of the paint just kind of follows the scars.
Oh, I see. Cool. So she's like, "Oh,
And
you know what? I see you've got a little dot to dot back here for me, don't you?"
yeah,
She starts working on it.
and then I was gonna ask her to put like the symbol of the mother or whatever. I don't know exactly what it
Yeah, she'll
is,
do
but
like a large crescent moon because like she's like, "Well, no, I have these 3 lines that I do, and this is something that my my Aunt Flora taught me when she was teaching me how to be a priestess. And I don't know that everybody does it. We did things different down in the Hidden Valley, but they stand for uh, strength, love, and forgiveness. And those are the things, pillars we try to live by as worshipers of the Mother. But here it seems to be the crescent moon. So I think I'd like to try to combine both of those for you because I see you've got some scarring back here that kind of curves around. And so she like does like a crescent, like a large crescent moon, but it actually wraps like all the way around. So it's like a full circle, but like half filled in. And then like these lines are just kind of like going, instead of being straight, like kind of curving out. So there's the moon, and then like there's 2 more additional, like the curve of the moon, and then 2 more curved lines that fill out the circle. And she's like, I think that looks very powerful. And like steps back and admires her work and holds up a mirror on the other side so you can see it.
and yeah, I'm just gonna say thank you, Cora. Thank you.
Yeah,
And say, shall we check on the others?
absolutely. Do you want the rest of my cantaloupe? I didn't finish it here.
Oh, that'd be lovely. Kind of mow down on some
Yeah,
cantaloupe.
on the way out, just like getting juice
Yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah. And just kind of pat you on the back, laughing while I'm like eating this.
It's delicious.
Yeah,
Hmm.
man, I want a good cantaloupe.
I
I know
know,
it
it's
sounds
so
really
good.
good right
It
now.
does sound good. It's also the crescent moon shape is why I thought of
Yep,
cantaloupe.
yep.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
When cantaloupe's good, it's like the best thing ever. Like
It
when,
really is. It can be really good.
when it's bad, it's like really.
Yeah.
It tastes like
Melon can
farts.
get really bad. Not as bad as bad watermelon though. Bad watermelon is the worst.
All right, well, interesting. Anything else you want to do at the tower? The crows are still lingering about, quite heavily. Um,
Yeah, I guess I'm gonna ask Cedric if he wants to go try and talk to some crows too. So yeah, I'm gonna kind of lead Cora over to Cedric, I guess. or try to find him. Hey, should we talk to some crows? I'm gonna look over at Cora and look at Cedric.
Should we talk to some crows? What business do you have with crows?
Well, I just thought that we might want to know a little bit more about this god of theirs and whether we should care or not.
Frankly, I think it's a waste of time, but if you want to listen to one jabber at us, I suppose. Well, they're out there.
Well, before we do, I'd like to try something. I don't know if it's gonna work, and it's worth a shot though. So I want to try another thing that I'm afraid I'm gonna blow my head off.
This is when you're summoning the snakes, isn't it?
Yeah, this is. I'm
Finally.
I'm going to enlarge the ladybug by 2 sizes. No, so I would like, this is not a new spell, but I would like to try and cast Bless. So here's the deal. I'm just going to put this in the chat. If I can't, it's fine, but I'm going to try because it's fun. So the thing about casting Bless as a ritual is that you can casting Bless may also form part of rituals of purification or consecration at the referee's discretion.
Mhm.
So I just wanted to try this in this holy place while I have this Nazarite, like I'm the most powerful I've
this
ever
is
been.
sick. This is sick. Good
And
idea.
I want to try. I almost forgot.
Nice. With the staff?
I want to try to I want to try and bless it or purify it or consecrate something to try and save my friend from this evil and from this awful Alfred Hitchcock lifestyle he's living.
So Cedric, do you give her the staff and let her try?
What's your pitch, Cora?
Yeah, where do we find you? Are you guys in Cora's chambers amongst the drapes and sofas and
Yeah, Cora, where's your PowerPoint presentation?
Yeah, I'm feeling like John Hamm. All right.
Cora snaps and a servant brings you some iced drink, some sort.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a high priestess here. I'm like, okay, so I guess we can go wherever you're most comfortable, Cedric. And she would say, now, I know this is asking a lot, and this is a mighty powerful object. I don't know what I'm not going to lie to you, and I'm not going to try to be anything more than I am, because when I try to do that, I fail miserably. So I'm just going to tell you, Cedric, I want to try and take away this curse. I want to try and bless this object and make it so that it might be able to bring us the power we need to continue on together in a way that doesn't cause you so much pain and suffering and turn you into a bird man. Unless you want to be a bird man. If you don't want it, I won't do it. I'm not pushing. I just want to, if you want me to try, I'm telling you, I'm here to try.
Did Zuzu tell you to tell me this?
No, Zuzu,
Oh no, I'm not smart enough for that. I don't know what she can do.
No, I actually, Zuzu came to see me. Can I show him? Can I show him your
Yeah,
what? So like I look, we did this. He asked me to help him with this on his back
I
here.
kind of
I
point to
think
my
it looks
chin and
good.
then show him my back or whatever.
Flex.
And I'm
It looks
kinda,
better when he's
flexing.
flexing.
Yeah, I'm
It
like,
looks better. There you go.
Cedric kind of grips his staff and just kind of looks at him. He's like,
I remember you tried to take it. Do you both seek it now?
Oh, I don't. You know what? If there's a way I can do it where you can keep it, I'm fine. I just don't think I can. I mean, I can. It's ranged. It's a ranged spell. You can be 60 feet away, but I don't know if it'll work.
I will
I mean,
take your.
she's asking you, Cedric. She's not telling you.
And it could be just me and you if you. I mean, I don't. Whatever you're
Yeah,
most.
I
And if
can
you don't want to
leave.
do it, fine too. I don't. It's truly no pressure. I thought of it, and I feel like now is the place, and here is the time that it's going to work better than anything. But if you're not ready to do that, I totally understand.
Yeah, I wanted to go talk to the crows. I didn't know anything about this.
I will consider your offer. Thank you, but I don't think it's the right move at this time.
Well, you're entitled to your opinion, my friend. And if you change your mind, I hope I am successful. And if it's anything like what I did to Dante, I don't blame you for being scared. Well, gave it a shot. Did you want to talk to them crows?
I still want to talk to the crows. I want to know what kind of being this thing was.
All right. So you guys, where do you go out? Like on a balcony, or? I mean, they're swarming the tower now that you're like settled in. They're literally just night and day swarming the tower. There's also buzzards circling now as well. Way up high.
Yeah, so I'm gonna, I guess, try and get some of their attention.
I mean, yeah, if you walk out on your balcony is almost unenjoyable. In fact, I think, Cora, some parts of your room might be like unenjoyable at this point, because there's like open areas where you basically just have like a screen or like a curtain you can pull, and that's about it. Like out to your balcony. There's really no doors. I guess the servants
All crows all the time.
Yeah, the servants can maybe bring in some wooden like kind of doors that fit into the archways or something, but yeah, the crows are just there. Like, you walk out on the balcony, Zuzu, and it's like carpeted on one part. It's like, when bees start to like clump on shit. It's like that, but like in patches all over the tower. And they're just raving. Like, their words are almost understandable. It's almost like the crows are becoming progressively more primal.
I think Cedric would look at Zuzu like trying to get their attention, and he would just be like,
I think you'll need to do more than wave at them to get their attention. I think this has gone on long enough.
and he'd pound his staff into the ground, and he would cast a spell.
Fireball.
Fireball.
Tower collapses. Steel beams melt.
I saw this in a vision.
Okay, so Cedric would begin like, first his legs would kind of like tremble and get claw-like, and then he would start to just grow these feathers, and these wings would sprout out his back, and then his neck would elongate, and then before you know it, Cedric is a giant buzzard.
Oh, he's more bird than man.
And he lets out like a velociraptor like scream that I would try to do, but
Oh shit, you already have polymorph?
Discord. Well, you said we could do one spell, so that's one of the ones I did.
Yeah, this is your fault. You turned him into a buzzard.
Yeah, and Zuzu's just jaw is gonna drop. And like be backing away from Cedric.
So as soon as you transform, the birds like fly out from you like they're repelled by magnetism in all directions, and just start squealing and screaming and screeching like, traitor, killer.
Cora throws her hands over her ears, like scared.
What do you do, Cedric? You take flight?
Yeah, I think Cedric like starts flapping his wings, like he's humongous, so it's like, big, thick rescuers down under albatross. And he gets airborne, and he's like,
If you wish to parley,
and he has like a totally different, like screechy, ridiculous voice. He's like,
we shall parley. But this will be the last day you follow us. For tomorrow, if you are still here, and you are still calling me murderer and traitor, I will not have you impeding my friends and I.
Awesome. So you swoop down, and the crows just swarm you. They start attacking. Giant clouds. Guess that's where we should roll an initiative. Fuck.
Oh yeah, already does not like this.
This is, I think, where we should end the session for tonight. Actually, maybe we should end a little early.
Maybe.
Oh my gosh, next week on the Royal Bird Rumble, Jerry Lawler.
What a hell of a move.
Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Yes.
Oh shit. I can't kill a bird swarm. So
Oh my gosh, it's gonna be a cage match.
How many birds are there? A lot?
Oh yeah.
Thousands, I would say thousands of birds.
I can kill like 4.
You know when like Moses made that like column, the pillar of fire? It's like that, but with birds.
Jesus. What a fucking move, Cedric.
Sick. I mean, we had to get rid of these birds.
Yeah, I don't really.
Hey, I got a way to get rid of these birds.
Yeah, I didn't really
Oh,
plan
this is
that.
good.
But I was just
Oh,
it would be fun
that
for
was
me to-
really good. Hey, make your own drama. Fuck yeah.
Cora, I think you bringing up the blessed thing is really, really interesting. And
Thank you.
I'm interested to see how this goes, but part of that ritual thing is that it says casting bless may also form part of rituals, so she can try it herself, definitely, but if it doesn't work, it might just be that she needs more people.
Right.
Like a tower full of priestesses.
Yeah. Maybe while a baby's being born.
I'm also in a lot of trouble because polymorph is. I mean, I can do a lot of damage, but your hit die stays the same. So,
Cedric, this was a good move.
Should go
I
with the
mean,
black
I'm all
hack
about
version.
it. I'm all.
I'm
about
all
it.
about it.
Well, you guys can try
And
and
maybe the
help.
bird problem will be solved.
You can try and help from the balcony a little too. I mean, little. We already learned.
Throw-
We already learned your shit at range, but
This is trying to distract us into a worst case scenario.
I know, this is like where I'm just sitting there looking.
If Cedric dies, our bird problem is solved.
there are some
but
powerful priestesses you could maybe go and find.
Hey, priestesses, we need you to come kill some birds. Oh man. Oh, that's good.
If only they had given
I
Cora
know.
the golden slingshot instead of the golden shield.
Those fools.
Well.
The golden rubber band that you
Or silver
flick between your fingers.
silver shield rather.
It's also great that your only ranged fighter isn't there.
To be fair, we have 2 ranged fighters now, and one of them is a big bird.
True.
He's Big Bird.
Yeah,
It's big man.
exactly.
One of them
He's in
is
the air
big-
fighting.
One of them put themselves in the position where they can't use their range.
He can come.
Oh man.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Already really wants to break that staff now.
Well, our
Oh
bird
yeah, I
problem
meant to
may be
say
solved.
when I turn into a big vulture,
Buzzard.
Sorry, the staff is like a nose bone. It goes straight through the beak. The staff. That's how he carries the staff. It's like through his beak, like a nose bone deal.
Oh, I thought you meant it was a part of your skull as the bird.
Like a
It's
skull on top of my
piercing.
skull.
I see it
Like
where
it's
you're,
along like your beak and like nose
like it
bridge. It's like
trimmed
just
out
melded
the
into it
bridge
with
of
that
the
Yeah.
beak.
with that
where
bird
that
skull in the
nostril-
center.
that
No.
big nostrils are.
It's a nose bone.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
Did anybody get goals? We didn't really take time to write goals or beliefs this session. We definitely will next session, like review beforehand.
Oh no, that's not. the
I
right one.
1000% did not.
It's that one. Sorry.
I mean, I still wrote some new goals. But
Yep. So I had.
I feel
write
like I spend my
boxes of
whole
those.
week thinking about my goals and beliefs more so than I think about anything in my real life.
Great.
Yeah, so I 100. In fact, I failed one of those because I don't need to do. We got our Nazarite shard, but I didn't shave it off of anything. So that's gown, baby.
Yeah, my Nazarite one was a 2-session long one. I left 3 open because I thought I'd write a new one tonight, but I didn't. I guess I should have turned into a fucking vulture or a buzzard.
Or definitely take an XP for find a way to get Nazarite without stealing. You deserve an XP just for getting the promotion.
Thank you.
Yep, Dante's that first one that's all alone. That's an old one I need to delete.
Yeah, take one for your second goal for sure.
Cool.
Dante trying to convert into a cleric.
Not entirely. I've got ideas, but I'm not sure where I'm taking them yet.
Okay. Man, I really want you to go see what the Sunspire is all about now. He's having this religious epiphany. I know
That's where we were.
Nope, you're in the Tower of Veros. The Sunspire is in the city of Solaria, and that's like even bigger version of this, and they use it to torture people for religious purposes.
Ah, shit. I just realized I could have been pursuing something with all those books. C'est la vie.
Well, you have access to the tower, you know, pretty much all the time.
Oh, for sure. But, well, I mean, I think we're going to be leaving soon, so. We'll find out if we are, though.
Cedric, you're number 4. You talked about it with her, and you did ask.
What is number 4?
Ask Rimspire about breaking the staff's curse. I want you to have like another interaction, almost though, with High Mother Illustra.
Fair enough.
I think like you, yeah, should, because like with the blessing and with Cora and everything as well. I think if you pursue that, that could be like a hot ticket XP item. I don't know if you did enough to get an XP for it yet, though. Especially because I feel like you could have used some library time. But you wanted that polymorph, baby.
So many books, a little time.
No. I really like your goal 1, Cedric. That's gonna. Ready? I really want to see what happens if you break that.
That's something that I feel much more confident in pursuing now, but just skip over mine, because nothing happened for me this session.
But still, I think that would be interesting. I don't even know what the fuck would happen. Let's see. Helmet is lingering in my mind. Life, ask Cora to refresh my war paint. That's good. That was a great scene.
Yeah, that was fun.
And take one for number 5 as well. Cool. Good job, everybody.
I don't mean to nickel and dime you, but do I get 2 or do I just get 1? Because it matters greatly. Or even a half.
Or find a way to get Nazarite without stealing?
Yes, well, yes. So, well, then also smooth things over with the priestess who shunned us. But I don't have to get an XP for that. But I have 17.5 XP with 1.
Go ahead and
So I'm like,
take a 0.5.
oh, thank you so much. Benevolent referee.
Give you a 1.5. That was good. That was a level up for Cora right here just makes too much sense.
Oh, thank you so much.
Hell yeah.
Right.
That was very special.
Yeah,
You
it
guys
really
are all so
does.
nice to me.
She's like our
Level
ultra.
4 or 5
Yeah.
now.
4?
4, yeah.
Nice. I gotta catch up.
Yeah, I'm nowhere close.
I am so far behind with XP. We'll get our moments.
Nice. Great session, everybody.
Yeah, that was fun.
Super
A lot
That was
calmer.
fun.
That was nice.
Yeah, it was nice
Good
to
job, everyone.
it was nice to have one where like you weren't just getting shit thrown at you the whole time. I wanted you to really feel the positive effects of becoming infamous and / famous.
Yeah.
I'm also interested
It's-
to see what happens though when you go back, because the rumors of eld bodies traipsing around the countryside and not being in the barge have definitely spread. So you can only imagine what the Reclaimer is thinking and feeling.
Yeah, we really need to get a move on because we are burning time that we don't have.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, I'm gonna make that one of my goals. Shit.
When you come back, I don't know. Well, I'm excited. I'm just excited for you to come back and check out the barge. And all right, well,
Fun.